Disney, Baby Bluebird. Now what could this be? Wondered Winnie the Pooh. He had been enjoying a splendid walk through the 100-acre wood when he discovered something he hadn't seen before. Pooh had found a nest on the ground with a round, smooth something sitting in it. Pooh needed someone wise to help him solve the mystery, so it was very lucky that Owl, who was very wise indeed, just happened to be walking by. Owl stopped to say hello. Owl was only too happy to help. He loved solving a good mystery. I say, my dear boy, what you have here in a very rare woozit, declared Owl, studying the egg intentionally. But you must be very careful with the woozit, because before Owl could finish, there was a loud crack from the egg. The egg hatched, and out popped a tiny creature. Before Owl could say anything, the little woozit let out a great big peep. In fact, the woozit made so much noise that soon Rabbit joined them to find out what was going on. The woozit is trying to tell us something, said Owl. I may be a bear of very little brain, said Pooh, but I think this little woozit is telling us he's a little hungry. What does a woozit like to eat? Wondered Rabbit. Why, honey, of course, Pooh answered. What else? Oddly, the woozit didn't want the honey. Instead, he peeped louder. No, 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 said Rabbit. Honey is much too sweet for a little baby. Woozit. Everyone knows that woozits like vegetables. Rabbit dashes back to his garden and returned with a basket full of carrots. Here you go, little woozit, said Rabbit. Here's a nice, delicious carrot. The baby woozit turned his head away and peeped even louder. My dear fellows, you are both wrong, said Owl. This is a baby woozit. Everyone knows that babies like milk. Owl raced off and came back with a nice tall glass of milk. The baby woozit turned his head away, flapped his wings, and let out an even louder peep. Pooh, Owl, Rabbit had ran out of ideas. They were stumped. Suddenly, they heard a sweet little peep, peep, peep from up above it. Was the baby woozit's mother sitting on a tree branch. It looked like the baby's mother had something in her beak, said Rabbit. The baby's mother flew down and leaped softly beside her son. He was very excited to see her, especially when she fed him the worm she had in her beak. The friends all cheered as the woozit stopped peeping and snuggled up next to his mother. I say it appears that their nest fell out of the tree, said Owl. We must help put it back. And that's just what we did. It's amazing, said Pooh. These woozits sure like bluebirds. The end.